What's the one piece of advice that lives rent free in your head now from any of the other guests you've had on?
The one of the best quotes that I've had on the show is a gentleman in season one, and he talked about when people have life outside of work, their work comes to life. And I thought about that.
Love that.
Yeah, me too. It hit, and I made him say it twice because it hit me like in the moment. And I was like, man, that is so true, right? Because even around, like I have a very, very full-time job, right? And I'm doing things that I'm truthfully loving to do right now. But also I'm loving doing what I'm doing with the show as well. And I think what I've been able to do with the show is this quote unquote life outside of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
That helps and at times informs even some of the things that I'm doing on the job.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a quote that lives with me because I've seen it start playing out, not only in my personal life, but I see it playing out in the personal lives of my guests,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they talk about, I mean, obviously my show is about why people have left their jobs. And there are some folks who are starting their own things. There are some folks who are just maybe pivoting to other companies. But what they really started to figure out for themselves is what is it that they want and or need
Yep.
that's going to then help them do X thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think about you, right? Like you're like you said, your wife may say it may have taken a little bit too long for you to make this transition, but you had started creating this life outside of work that truthfully helped even informed your current work. And I think it's very bold of you to like say, look, you don't need someone at my level. You have a director here, a couple managers here, and figuring that out. But like you really set it up in a nice way that I think was beautiful to hear, and obviously some of the things I've seen online. And so that piece of advice has stuck with me, and I feel like I'm really living that, starting to live it a bit more. But I'm also trying to be very intentional with that, and I always appreciate him for kind of putting that in the atmosphere because it's really helped me truthfully like ground me in some of the things that I'm doing because I want to make sure that the stuff I'm doing outside of work that I'm like, this is kind of really who I am. Right.
Yep.
And it should inform everything that I'm doing so that there's really, people talk about work-life balance. It really, it's never going to be balanced, but it's this integration that I think is really beautiful that I'm trying to accomplish. And I think we're always trying to achieve that. So that's how I would answer that one.